A couple in New York is facing first-degree manslaughter charges for allegedly beating their own son to death in a questionable church in the state. Bruce and Deborah Leonard apparently got together with some other churchgoers and proceeded to beat their two sons, Lucas Leonard, 19, and his brother, who is 17 years old. Now, unfortunately, Lucas Leonard did not survive the beating. According to reports, he had injuries to his stomach, genitals, back, and thighs. According to the New York Times, the session was supposed to be a chance for church members to, quote, discuss their spiritual state, the authorities said on Wednesday. The brothers, aged 19 and 17, were met with their parents and an older sister, as well as other congregants. Both brothers were subjected to physical punishment in the hopes that each would confess to prior sins and ask for forgiveness. Now, this wasn't a 10-minute beating. Apparently, this beating lasted all night long. And so, as a result, the 19-year-old died from his injuries.
So they beat them through Sunday, and then Monday morning they wake up and the 19-year-old doesn't appear to be breathing, okay? So they just kept him there in that bad a shape. Let me read to you how bad a shape it was. Mr. Leonard's injuries were severe enough that the hospital initially told law enforcement officials on Monday that they believed he had been shot.
It's amazing.
It appears he has not been, but that's how bad they beat him.
This is your religion? Right?
And then they asked about, hey, where's your other son, right? And they didn't want to say anything. And they tried to find the son, and he didn't say anything. Finally, after a lot of coaxing, the 17-year-old came down from the upstairs in the church, and he was in horrible shape. And luckily, they got him to the hospital, and he survived.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thankfully, this wasn't, you know, some sort of mosque, because if it was Muslims, then someone would have died. Oh, wait.
Oh, someone did die.
It's a church. It's a Christian church, and someone. But I thought Islam is inherently evil and
inherently violent. And is a religion of you know, it's irredeemable, really. It's you can't help the Muslims. Whereas the Christians, you know, they're much more advanced. Much more advanced is what I hear. Okay, now look, it's for the 1000th time. It's the fundamentalism, stupid. Okay, so in this case, it's a weird fundamentalist church. They stay mainly indoors. In another instance, they saw these two young kids, 2-year-old and 3-year-old, walking down the streets. Some of the neighbors did. One was in diapers. They're like, what is going on? And so they go and knock on the door. Nobody answers for a long time. Finally, somebody answers, grabs the kids, brings them inside, and slams the door shut. Okay, they would start bonfires in the back, and they just hardly ever wandered out.
They would do bonfires on the roof of the building.
I don't understand how.
Sounds like a really bad idea.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea, right? Loud banging of drums and stuff. So yeah, you say, oh well, they're weirdos, right? Yeah, I know. Religious fundamentalists are weirdos, no matter which religion they happen to be in. So, and of course, and what do they do? No true Scotsman fallacy. As soon as these guys are caught for having done this terrible thing, the neighbors, including a pastor from another church, says, well, they're obviously not real Christians.
Yeah.
No true Christian would do that.
But here's the thing. I mean, is this church a representative of all Christians out there, or even the majority of Christians out there, or a chunk of Christians out there? Of course not. Which is why it's ridiculous to draw conclusions about an entire religious group based on the actions of extremists, right? So in this case, these people are extreme. These people are not right in their head. I mean, there are all sorts of crazy reports that the neighbors had talked about, right? Situations that they've experienced themselves about how secretive they are. They're very exclusive. They wouldn't open the doors when people would knock, right? This used to be a school or something, and now they've blacked out all the windows so you can't look inside. Who knows what they're doing in there? They're not very transparent with their actions, and obviously some of their behavior leads to either severe beatings or severe beatings that lead to death.
It's almost like they put a burqa on the building, right? And so now, by the way, some Muslim fundamentalists will do honor killings. They'll kill their daughter, for example, for being dishonorable, for her past sins. But Christians wouldn't. I mean, even the fundamentalist Christians wouldn't do that, right? They're much more advanced. Except here, they beat their son to death for his past sins.
And it's interesting because even in this case where an innocent 19-year-old man died, they're not facing murder charges. They're facing first-degree manslaughter because, as the prosecutor said, we don't think they intended to kill them or kill the son.
That's because...
So they get the benefit of the doubt.
Because Christians always have the best intent.
Yeah.
Okay, other religions are evil and have bad intent. Christians have the best intent even when they kill their own kids. right? And so that this is obvious, Anna. It's obvious. I don't know why we're not seeing the story straight.